Hello and welcome. It's time for chapter 4 in the story The Man in the Iron Mask. Chapter 4, its title is The Big Decision. The Big Decision. As we saw that the three musketeers, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis, went to the prison of Saint Margaret. They took Philip out of the prison and they rescued him to replace him with King Louis, the tyrant king or the bad king. They wanted to rescue or save France and its people with a good king, because King Louis was selfish. He thought only of his pleasures, and also he sent his army at wars. He sent all the money of the country for making a bigger kingdom for himself. He didn't care about his people or their suffering. Aramis, Athos, and Porthos went to the prison of Saint Margaret. They got Philippe, the king's twin brother, who was sent to prison by Fouquet after Fouquet had killed his guardian, who kept his secret for years. And when the guardian talked about the secret, Fouquet killed him and his family. He took Philippe, put him in an iron mask, and then he imprisoned him at the prison of Saint Margaret. It was a very hard prison. Only madmen who can live there at this prison, and if they weren't mad, when they come out of it they would be mad. Aramis, Porthos, and Athos took Philip and they went away. Fouquet followed them. He tried to catch them, but he couldn't. The three musketeers fought with Fouquet's men, and they killed some of them and made some of them out of service. They couldn't fight again. Fouquet said that you will not get away with this. I'm going to hunt you all and kill you all. Today at chapter 4 we will see what would Fouquet do after he knew that the man in the iron mask was taken from the prison, which he considered it would be a threat to the king and the throne and for himself as well. Chapter 4 is called The Big Decision. The new vocabulary that we have is the first word is lieutenant. Lieutenant means official rank, like the soldiers when they had or they have ranks. So a lieutenant is the rank for the soldier under the captain. So the head is the captain, and lieutenant is like his assistant or his co. Crooked means not straight, something that's like curly, not straight. Crooked. Apoplexy means faint, to lose conscious. Accusingly means blaming. When you accuse someone, you blame him for something that he did wrong. Fearsome means frightening. This is the lieutenant. It's a rank. Crooked means not straight, like this bridge, it's crooked. Apoplexy means faint, to lose conscious. The lieutenant Andra is the lieutenant whose position is under or the assistant of D'Artagnan. Delivered a message from the king to D'Artagnan, wishing to see him immediately. Andra went to D'Artagnan and told him that the king wanted to see him. Fouquet, of course, went to the king and told him about the traitors who went to Saint Margaret and took the king's twin brother. Do you think Louis knew about his twin brother? No, he didn't know that he had got a twin brother. Fouquet told Louis the truth about having a twin brother who was imprisoned for a long time. No one knows this secret except Fouquet and the four musketeers. Also, his guardian knew this. Fouquet was very nervous. He told King Louis about what happened and about the threat at his throne. What did Fouquet tell the king about his twin brother? He told him that Philippe hadn't died. Of course, King Louis knew that he had got a twin brother, but he died when he was a baby. But Fouquet told him that his twin brother is still alive, didn't die, and he was taken away and brought up by a gentleman near Nimes. Nimes is a place or a city called Nimes in France. His father thought that having his father means اللي هو here King Louis the 13th knew or thought that having two sons sharing the throne would cause a conflict. Conflict means a fight between the two brothers. So he decided to take one of his sons out of the court or out of the palace to avoid conflict or to stop fighting in the future. Father made Fouquet, the father, King Louis the 13th, made Fouquet swear to keep it a secret. Even his mother, Queen Anna of Austria, didn't know that Philippe, her son, was still alive. Philippe didn't want to be a king, but his friends did. Fouquet told Louis that, in fact, his brother Philippe can't play the role of the king. But he had got friends who wished to use him to take the throne or to have some benefits from the throne. Okay? That's what Fouquet told King Louis about. King Louis didn't know anything or had no idea about having a twin brother still alive. He told Louis that Athos, Porthos, and Aramis managed to break into the prison of Saint Margaret and to break into the prison and let his twin brother free. So how did Fouquet knew that they were the one who took Philippe out of the prison were the three musketeers? He saw Porthos, he recognized Porthos and saw him. Also, no one dares to enter this hard prison and take a prisoner from there except the three musketeers, because they were very brave. As we said before, they can beat an army together. The four musketeers together or the three of them can beat an army, a whole army. That shows that they were very brave and they were very strong. He told Louis that Athos, Porthos, and Aramis managed to break into the prison and let his twin brother out of the prison. Fouquet believed that Philippe had no wishes to be king, but had friends who would like to use him to take the throne. In addition, Fouquet was sure that the musketeers were the ones behind Philippe's escape. How? How did he know this? Why? Because they were the only one who dared to break into the prison. No one was as brave as them. They are the bravest people at this times. They were the only ones who can put 5 of Fouquet's men out of action in less than 2 minutes. So Fouquet was sure that they were the three musketeers, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis. How or from which? Because no one can dare to do this, to break into the prison of Saint Margaret or Also, they are the only ones who can put 5 of Fouquet's men out of action in less than 2 minutes. So they were very brave and strong. He had never seen, also Fouquet had never seen move so quickly of the swords, and he also recognized Porthos. As we said before, recognized means he saw by his eyes Porthos. So Fouquet was sure that the people or the traitors who broke into Saint Margaret prison was the Three Musketeers. How? First of all, no one can dare or could dare to break into the prison except the musketeers. Also, they could put 5 of Fouquet's men out of action in less than 2 minutes. It shows that they were very brave. Also, he saw the swords move quickly, as we said before, that the musketeers can use the musket and as well as the swords, but their favorite weapon was the sword, because they can use it bravely and perfectly. Also, Fouquet recognized or saw by his eyes Porthos. Okay, so now he is sure that the people who broke into the prison of Saint Margaret were the Three Musketeers. What he will do then? He would tell the king about them. What was Louis' action or reaction when he knew that he had got a twin brother and the traitors wanted to use him to take his throne? Do you think what will Louis do? Louis do? Louis at first wasn't caring about this, but when he knew that he got a twin brother, he was interested in this. He was surprised at first. Then he ordered Fouquet and the Ortegren to kill the musketeers and keep his brother or twin brother Philippe in the Bastille. He asked Fouquet and the Ortegren to get their heads on a plate for him, but he didn't want his brother to be killed. He wanted him to be kept in the Bastille because he had no brother but Philippe, so he wanted to keep him. Fouquet advised him that it would be a threat to his throne, as he told his brother before him that it was wrong to keep Philippe alive. But the king kept Philippe with a guardian whom revealed the secret and then was killed by Fouquet's men. D'Artagnan needed time to see if his old friends were really traitors or not. He wanted to make questions to know if they were the traitors or not. But Fouquet thought that there was no time for that, and he decided to lead an army against them himself. He knew that they were on asses' form. So Fouquet decided not to wait. He will take or lead an army to asses' form, and he will kill the Three Musketeers by himself. D'Artagnan wasn't sure about this. He said to the King Louis, we have to wait, we have to make questions first. King Louis decided that Fouquet will lead his army to kill them, and for D'Artagnan, he can make his questions at the same time. There is no problem for that. Then how could D'Artagnan prove he was loyal to his king? The king asked D'Artagnan to prove that he was a loyal fellow to him. He asked him to kill his old friends and get their heads on a plate for him. If he is loyal to the king, he will kill his old friends. If he is not loyal to the king, he will not do this. Why did Fouquet think it was dangerous to let Philippe alive? Because he thought that Philippe is a threat to the king's throne. Anybody can use him to take the throne from the king. Because Philippe and King Louis were identical. They were the same. Anyone can put Philippe on the throne, and all the people will think that he is King Louis, and they would get rid of King Louis, as what Aramis and his friends thought perfectly. They thought of the replacement of the king by his twin brother Philippe. What did Louis think of Philippe? What was his opinion of Philippe? He thought that he only is a country boy. he couldn't make a good king. He only can milk cows and feed hens. He cannot make a good king. So when Louis knew that he had got a twin brother, people wanted to use him to take his throne. He took the matter easily. He thought that no one can take his throne, and Philip is a country boy who is suitable to only to feed hens and milk cows. What did Louis not know his brother? Why did Louis not know his brother Philip? Why did Louis not know about his brother Philip? Because his father, King Louis XIII, thought that having two sons in the court would make conflict or make fight. So he decided to take one of his boys out of the court and put him with a guardian to bring him up. But King Louis and his mother also, they didn't know that his twin brother is still alive. Then the door was opened. It was Louise. Louise came to the king's room while Fouquet, King Louis, and D'Artagnan were talking. They were talking, and there was a knock on the door, and Louise entered. As you remember, Louise is the king's favorite lady. She's a young lady. She came at the court a few months ago, and the king loved her. She is at the court. She entered the room. When she entered, Louis told her about his twin brother. As you can remember, we have got here two similar words. As I told you before, Louis is the king, but Louise with E is the lady. Louis told Louise about his twin brother. He also told her that he believed that his twin brother was only a country boy who may be good at feeding hens and milking cows, but he would never make a good king. Louis was sure about this. Okay, then all of them, King Louis went with Louise out of the room. Fouquet left to his office, and also D'Artagnan went to his office. On his way, he saw Colbert. As we said before, Colbert is Fouquet's assistant or chief advisor. He was standing next to a tree with the mother queen Anna of Austria. They were talking. On his way, D'Artagnan met Colbert, whom he didn't trust a secret. Colbert wanted to know the news. Colbert noticed that Fouquet was angry. He wanted to know why was he so angry. He tried to know the information from D'Artagnan, but D'Artagnan didn't want to tell him anything because he thought that the secret should be a secret, and he knew that Colbert liked secret plans. Also, Queen Anna of Austria didn't know anything about her twin brother. She didn't like the ways of her son King Louis. She thought that the king should suffer for his people or should be a good king, but she knew that her son neither be a good king or suffer for his people. She didn't like her ways of being a king, but also D'Artagnan couldn't tell her about her twin brother who is still alive. He didn't expect that she will help him to get rid of her son. After all, Louis is her son, and she will not stand beside his enemies, of course. So D'Artagnan decided not to talk or tell anything to Colbert or the mother queen. This is the speech or the words that Colbert said to D'Artagnan, D'Artagnan. You are a dark horse, D'Artagnan, also always the king's man. Well, I have admired you for it, but I will get the truth out of you before the day is out. That it shows that Colbert was interested in knowing the news. Why was Fouquet angry, and he wanted to know what was happening in the room, what was the secret that they were talking about. But D'Artagnan decided that he will not know anything, he will not reveal the secret or tell anyone about the secret, because the secret should remain a secret. To clear his mind, D'Artagnan needed fresh air, so he continued in the garden where he met Louise. D'Artagnan walked in the garden, then he saw Louise was sitting there. Louise was nearly crying. She was looking sad. Louise complained to D'Artagnan, King Louis, as she didn't love him. D'Artagnan asked her, "Do you have any problem, Mademoiselle de la Valliere?" She said to him, "Yes, I don't like the king, or I didn't love him, but he loved her." She also told him that she was in love with another one or another man. D'Artagnan asked her, "Is this man here in the court?" She said to him, "Yes, but he didn't know that I love him, and I'm not sure that he loved me." Why was D'Artagnan worried about the king seeing him in the garden with Louis? Because he knew that he knew that King Louis was very jealous when he saw anyone was talking with his favorite lady, Louise de la Valliere. He got very jealous and upset. So D'Artagnan didn't want to be seen talking with Louise in the garden. He finished talking with her and he left. He thought that Mademoiselle Louise was trying to tell him that she loved him. He wasn't sure about this, but after he went to his office, he blamed himself, for he is an old man of 45 years old, and Mademoiselle Louise is only 22 years, and he tried to think of the matter clearly. What was the choice D'Artagnan had to make? He had to choose between his words that he gave to the king, or between his friends. Will he travel to warn his friends before Fouquet's men arrived to them? He had to make a very hard decision, to save his friends or to save France. He had to choose between France or his friends. He decided to set off to Blois. Blois is the city that Athos farm is on. He tried to guess that the three musketeers, or his three friends, took Philippe there at the farm of Athos. He wanted to go to Blois before Fouquet arrived to warn them. So now D'Artagnan decided to help his friends, to stand beside his friends, and to save France against this bad king or tyrant king, King Louis XIV. That afternoon, D'Artagnan set out for Blois. Blois is the city that had Athos' farm on, to warn his friends of Fouquet and his army, and also to see Philip. He wanted to see the king's twin brother Philip. Well, that's all for now for chapter 4. I want you to open your book, and we will highlight the most important parts as usual. The first page, page 32, we will highlight together. This part. We will highlight Fouquet is about to leave an apoplexy, means faint. He tells me, the one who is talking is King Louis, someone wants to take my throne from me. Can you believe it? The king now is talking to D'Artagnan. The king is talking to D'Artagnan and he is telling him what Fouquet had said to him. Then we will also highlight this part. The king didn't seem to be too worried at first. Also highlight Monsieur Fouquet is about to have, we also highlighted this, okay. Your Majesty, I don't think you understand how serious this matter is. When I tell you who is the man, I think you will see there is reason to be worried. Fouquet is talking to King Louis. Of course, he wants to tell him about his brother Philip. Let's go to the second page. Page 34. We will highlight together. This part. Well, speak then, for goodness sake. The king is talking to Fouquet. I know I'm not going to be able to stop you. You are already disturbed my sleep. Now disturb my mind. The king is talking to Fouquet. The man is your twin brother, Your Majesty. Okay. Also, I highlight, I have another brother, but that's excellent news. Not so excellent, Your Majesty. Your brother has ambitious friends who wish to place him on the throne. Also highlight, no, Your Majesty. Philip is a gentle fellow. Fellow means man. He has no wish to be king, but there are those who would like to use him to get power for their own purpose. Who said this? Fouquet said this to the king. You must stop them. Who is behind all this? What did Fouquet tell the king about his twin brother? He told him as the sentence that we highlighted. He told him that he had got a twin brother who has got traitors who wanted to use him to take the throne from King Louis. Here we will highlight, you know them well, Captain D'Artagnan. You were old friends when Fouquet was accusing D'Artagnan and told him that his friends were traitors. Only why, when we ask here why was Fouquet sure that those who attacked the Saint Margaret were the four musketeers, why or what made him sure? Only they would dare to break into the prison on Saint Margaret, and only they could put 5 of my men out of action in less than 2 minutes. Okay, I have never seen swords move so quickly. Besides, I recognized the big fellow. What was his name? Porthos. This what made Fouquet sure. Then we will highlight, we cannot wait for proof. When D'Artagnan asked for proof, Fouquet told him that we cannot wait for proof. I say we arrested them at once. and have them executed, to be killed, along with Philip. He wanted Philip to be killed also. I told your father all those years ago that it was a mistake to let him alive. He didn't want his father to keep him alive. Um, Louis turned his back on us for the moment and then said that's Louis' decision. Okay, no kill the musketeers, but not my twin brother. I have only one of those. He didn't want his brother to be killed because he had only one brother, so he wanted to keep him in the Bastille. Okay. Highlight also that may not be wise. Fouquet is advising the king, Your Majesty, as long as he lives, your throne is in danger. Not if he is in the Bastille. So the king now decided to keep his brother in the Bastille. Okay. After that, we will go to page 36 and 37. At page 36, why were Louise's what was Louise's orders to Fouquet and D'Artagnan? What did he order them to do? He ordered them to so D'Artagnan, now is the time to see how loyal a servant you really are. Can you hunt down those traitors who were once your friends and bring me their heads on a plate? So this is the proof for D'Artagnan loyalty for the king. Also highlight, we don't have time for that. We must hunt them down. After D'Artagnan asked for time to question the matter, Fouquet told him that we don't have time. Now, if D'Artagnan will not do it, I will lead an army against them myself. I think I know where to find them. Of course, he knew that they were at Blois. Blois is the city where Athos' farm was in. Also highlight, at the moment Louise opened the door of the king's room. She was about to enter when she saw us. She said, I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I didn't know or realize you were busy. Then the king took Louise and they went away. He told her, Louise, I have good news. I have found another brother. Really, Your Majesty? She was surprised. Here he is telling her his opinion of his brother. Yes, a twin brother who appears to have friends, traitors to their king, who wish to place him on my throne. That's what King Louis told Louise about his brother. But I believe that he is just a country boy who he may be good at feeding hens and milking cows, but doubt he would make a good king. That was Louis' opinion of his brother that he told Louis about. What was or what did Louis tell Louis about his twin brother? That's what we highlighted. I'm not concerned anyway. Soon my loyal captain, he means D'Artagnan, will bring me the heads of the traitors. I will have those heads spiked. Spiked means sticked on the gates or hanged on the gates of the city to show the people how traitors are dealt with me. But my brother will be kept in the Bastille as he ordered his men. I turned and saw Colbert. Here the one who's talking, as I told you before, the narrator is D'Artagnan. I turned and saw Colbert standing under a flowering cherry tree, talking to the king's mother, Anna of Austria. We will highlight the queen Louise's mother, now in her 50s, who still beautiful. I know she didn't like her son's ways. She believed a king should be an example to his people, suffering for them if necessary, and Louis neither set a good example nor suffered for his people. Highlight this. Tell us, D'Artagnan, why was Fouquet so upset earlier? The one who asked this was Colbert. Okay, then we will go to the next two pages. Page 39. We will highlight this part. I thought for a moment, but decided to tell them as little as possible. I have always believed that a secret should remain a secret. That's why D'Artagnan didn't want to tell anyone about the king's twin brother and about the traitors. You are, this is the quotation, you are a dark horse, D'Artagnan, always the king's man. Well, I have to admire you for it, but I will get the truth out of you before the day is out. And D'Artagnan decided that he will not tell Colbert anything. I knew Athos would go straight on his farm. The one who's talking here is D'Artagnan. He is talking to himself. In Blois, he would think himself safe there. Fouquet knew that too, and would go there to arrest him and the others. I decided at the end of the page, I decided to set off for Blois immediately and find out for myself. Fouquet and his men would probably leave the next day, so he wanted to go before them. Okay, let's go to the next page, which is page 40, pages 40 and 41. We will highlight together. So I set off this afternoon. It would give me almost 24 hours ahead start. He wanted to go before Fouquet to warn his friends. He didn't want Fouquet to arrest and kill them. As I was coming back up the path of the garden, I saw Louise sitting alone on a garden seat. I thought she was crying. Okay. I was surprised to see her there. I expected her to be with the king. He talked to her and she said, D'Artagnan, you always appear when I'm in a need of a friend. Then she told him to sit down, but she told him, she complained to him and said, I don't love the king. D'Artagnan, what should I do? That was her problem. D'Artagnan told her, every lady in France dreams to be in your position. Position means place. Dreams to be the king's favorite. The king will give you anything you want. Can't you try love him? Louis told him that he is a practical man. You are a practical man means like actions. D'Artagnan, but no, I cannot. I am in love with another. She said to him that she was in love with another person. I hope to tell you one day. He asked her about this man. She said to him, I hope to tell you one day about it, but not now. You see, I'm not sure that he loves me. Then D'Artagnan went. He asked her, is he someone here at court? She said to him, yes. So that made him think that he was the man that she was talking about, that she loves him. Louise looked at me warmly and placed her hand on mine. I stood up at once. Okay, as we said before, he didn't want, we can highlight this at page 40. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want the king to see us together. He was very jealous man. Okay, so Louis, D'Artagnan wanted to leave quickly because he didn't want anyone to see him with Louise, because the king was a jealous man. Then at the end that afternoon, I left Andre, his assistant, in charge in his position, and set out for Blois to warn or to find my friends and perhaps see this Philip that Fouquet was talking about. Okay, let's go to the questions at the booklet. We have what did Louis tell Louise about his twin brother? Of course, as we said, he told her that his brother is a country boy. He has no wish to be a king, but he has got friends who were traitors. They wanted to use him to take the throne of France. His brother cannot make a good king, cannot play the role of the king properly. He can only feed cows and feed hens and milk cows. He cannot make a good king. What did the king decide to do with his brother and the musketeers? He asked D'Artagnan and Fouquet to get their heads on a plate for him, or by other word, to kill them, and he will hang their heads on the gates of the city, and he will keep his brother Philip in the Bastille. We have got quotation: every lady in France dreams of being in your position. Position means place. The king will give you anything you want. Can't you try and love him? Who said this? Of course, D'Artagnan said this to Louise de la Valère, when he found her in the garden. She was nearly crying. He asked her what was the problem, and she told him that she didn't love the king. What was the situation? We said the situation. Why can't she love the king? Because she was in love with another. And the complete Fouquet explained to Louis that his father believed that having two sons sharing the throne would cause a conflict or fight, and decided that one must be removed from the court, as we said before. So who first decided to get Philippe out of the court? Of course, his father. Why did he decide to make this? Because he didn't want to have two sons on the throne. He didn't want to have conflict or fight in the court. He decided to send his son and live with a guardian, and keep one son to be the king, who was King Louis. Well, that's all for chapter 4. I hope you understood our session. I want you to highlight the most important parts as we did, and listen to Cd1 Track 4. Thank you and goodbye.